negative here. Whoops. Wow, look at that. What kind of quick turnaround is that, man? Hey, what's up? Cheers. Duff here. Sound check. Sound check. Can you hear me? Can you see the thing is right there? Yeah, it's a box. It's a big box. How you guys been? Haven't heard much from me. It's because I've been kind of busy. Simon says, Duff unboxes the first V13. Shocks the EUC world. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if Inmotion sent me the wheel? Yeah, it's funny. It's, you know, like it's, well, I'm not gonna talk about that, but yeah, if whoever gets these wheels the first, they get a lot of attention. So yeah, send me one. I'll get you some attention, no problem. So anyways, as I was saying, you guys have not seen much of me. Last video I did just post a video last night of my trip to New York, upstate New York, and of course, not many people are interested in that. Some saw it, and it's actually quite interesting. Now, my two nieces that are 3 and 6, they are just adorable, and it's kind of weird. Up in upstate New York, literally the middle of nowhere on this big lake called Big Moose Lake, no cell service. If I would need to get on the internet, my only option was to go to the central building in this cabin lake resort area, and they had a small Wi-Fi network set up there, so I could get on Wi-Fi. But the only way I would have that access is if I walked over there. So someone like me that is so used to being tied into the internet all the time, it was, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't always comfortable, but I got around it. And I really, it was good for me to experience different climate. It was like in the 40s 3 nights, nice and cool, low humidity, got to kayak. We hiked a bunch. Went out on canoes with my brother-in-law, my sister, all kinds of great stuff. I'm trying to think, the last EUC-related video I did was when I talked about why I canceled my KingSong S20 order that I had with e-wheels for almost 11 months. I finally canceled it. And when during that video, one of the things I talked about was one of the factors was because I was ordering something else. I had already ordered it. And this was facilitated by Ian at Speedy Feet. I reached out to him, and like I said in the video, I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, Ian, because I've done this before. I've had wheels drop shipped to me, like basically where the dealer initiates the order, but they just have the wheels shipped directly from the manufacturer to me. I've done it with it happened with the Inmotion V11, happened with the Nikola 100 volt that I had, Nikola Plus 100 volt that I had. That was drop shipped to me, and now this right here was drop shipped to me as well. Now I talked in the video what this is, and I totally expect to get flack for it because it is a Begode EX20S. It's supposed to be the high torque model. We'll see. I'll open it up and I'll look at the motor to make sure. But yeah, it's supposed to be a Begode EX20S. And the reason that I expect to catch shit for this is because I have said in the past, I don't remember the last time I said it, that I wasn't interested in buying a Begode wheel because of some of the ridiculous issues, the fires. You know, they've had QC issues forever, but some of the more serious things that they've had problems with, and cutouts, obviously, board failures. But they have definitely been doing better. I mean, everyone saw the video where they use lithium iron phosphate. Is that the right chemistry? They drilled into it and look, just smoke, no explode. So they were definitely showing some concern with at least making their battery packs more reliable. And all along, my my interest has been finding a wheel that has Sherman-like range, or close. Doesn't have to be the same, but close. Be able to go 40 miles an hour if I want to, but have suspension. Just because suspension makes riding much better for me. And I'll be the first to admit, I remember when they first unveiled the initial EX20Ss. Remember the ones that weren't painted black and how they look like the radiator out of a car? And I thought it looked absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I thought that they I thought that it was a joke when they first showed it. I made all kinds of comments about it, how dumb it looked, and how it was a blatant knockoff of the S20. And yet here I am. I have one sitting next to me. So the last Begode wheel that I bought was an MSX 100 volt. That's the last Begode wheel that I bought. And that was it 3 years? I don't know. More than 2 years ago, maybe 3. So I have not purchased a Begode wheel in a very long time. So yeah, guess times change. And those of you that are channel members or that follow my channel closely, you'll notice in the community section of my YouTube page, I did mention that there's twists and turns and all of this drama that's going on, and there are more twists to come. I will promise you that, but you'll have to tune in to see exactly what they are, because they're kind of interesting. All right, let me catch up a little bit on comments. French USA. Hey, French USA. I don't know if I remember seeing you on a live stream before. If not, welcome, French USA. Okay, the mic sounds nice. Good. We're on my Yeti semi-professional mic right now. Simon, no cell service feels a bit like missing a limb, but cell phones, I don't know or care. I'm so conditioned. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, kind of. And plus, with my job, I had to have the ability to connect. Like, there was a situation where I actually had to bring my work laptop down there, connect to Wi-Fi and VPN into the office to do something. So I did need to have that connectivity. And if I would not check my emails for an entire week, I kid you not, I would easily have well over 1,000 emails if I did not check my emails for an entire week. So I'm very much a proactive person in most regards, where I like to stay ahead of the curve with shit like that, and just walking into a wall of 1,000 emails, it doesn't make me feel good. So, but yeah, all in all, it worked out well. I actually flew from Florida to Pennsylvania, close to where my dad lives, and then we had to drive to upstate New York, and that was 7 hours in the car with my dad and then my stepmom. So that was a long time in the car, but it worked out. Simon says Gotway lures us all in eventually. Yeah. I mean, this I'm hoping that this is my answer, because like even when I heard about it, a 3,600 watt hour battery suspension, I still was very skeptical. I remember Jack from Electric Dreams. He rode an early EX20 and he had negative things to say about it. He didn't like it, but he is the only one that I have heard say something negative about the ride experience on the EX20S. Wrong Way said it's very comfortable. Ian said it was very comfortable. People like riding it. I heard other people out in California that got to ride one of the test wheels there in a demo day or something. They all liked it. So I think I'm going to like it too. I think. Okay, you see with Lucifer speaking of suspension, the suspense is killing me. All right. And French USA says, I wasn't sure about the Go quality, but I still got the Master today. Today, I'm happy to say the best wheel. Yeah, Masters are cool. I could have bought a Master. I actually have connections now with the guy that Marty buys wheels from. So I'm going to have some other options for purchasing wheels that might be better for me in some situations. So, all right, so let's open this thing. I do have my knife right here. This wheel is heavy. Did I say that before? It's freaking heavy. It's so heavy that I actually got my furniture sliders. It was out in the garage. I got my furniture sliders. I pulled it into the laundry room, but then I got my furniture sliders and I put them underneath the box to slide it in here. Those of you that don't know every aspect of my personal life, I do actually have a small hernia currently that's due to get repaired August 12th. So, at this point, I really haven't been doing anything to limit anything that I do, except I'm not doing like real heavy weights at the gym. This is a real heavy weight, man. It's 118 pounds. So the box is 118 pounds. I think the wheel itself is 108. So let's see what we got here. So another end result of this is I am going to be selling my Sherman at some point. As long as this proves out to be what I hope it is, there really isn't much point for me to keep the Sherman. So I will be selling that, and to also offset the cost. But yeah, if someone is looking for a wheel, Ian was unsure of how this would work out. Like as far as customs, like if there would be a hold up at customs for doing it this way, or if they would charge me additional money, because it comes from China. But it didn't. It took a while for the FedEx tracking to show up from China. And I did mention before that I paid for air shipping, so it got there quicker. So it arrived in California. I don't know, maybe a week, 8-9 days after it was shipped, and then it took about another week to get here from FedEx. This is interesting. Since when does Begode include certificate of compliance paperwork in here? It's a ENTE certification machine. Okay, so this is what the hell? European. Oh, this is one concern that we had, that since Ian ordered this, we were concerned, or I was concerned, that it's not going to have a US plug, a US power plug. And I think that is still a possibility. So, I'm hoping it's pluggable, where you can It's a detachable plug that I can just put a normal American plug into it. But we will see. All right, so I do not want to. Okay, we're going to have to lay this on its side, I think, to do this effectively. Okay, interesting. They include a Allen wrench just jammed into the phone. I guess that's to fit some of the nuts and screws in here. All right. I don't know that I can just lift this thing. I don't know where I can lift it from. All right, I'm going to lay it on its side and just try to slide it. Oh my God. Slide it out. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, when you have a wheel that's so heavy that it makes a Sherman feel light, it's kind of insane, isn't it? I think it is. All right, okay. We can use the handle to slide it out on the side. You have pads. I think I heard some people say these pads actually weren't bad. I don't know. All right, it's out. Oh, all right. Now here's the power supply box. Let's take a look at this. Okay. This is the moment of truth. All right, there we go. I know how to open a box. I'm smart. Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay. Wow. They included both. They included a EU style plug or a British plug and a US plug. Look at that, man. Nice. The stock charger. Stock charger. What is it? I haven't heard. The stock charger is a 3-amp charger. So not too big, not good for fast charging, but I don't really like the fast charge, to be quite honest with you. So that's totally fine with me. I don't give a shit. 3 amps is fine. That's what she said. All right. Put that there. Now we need to. This is a crucial part of this unboxing experience because you can't even see it because it's laying on the floor. So I need to lift it up onto this table somehow. Okay, so how do you grab an EX20S? Can't grab it on the light. That would be stupid, right? How do you lift this thing? Maybe you do grab it under the light. Oh, good Lord. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Oh, my God. All right. That's amazing. Wow. That is a heavy wheel. I remember getting my original Monster, Gen 1 Monster, and thinking that was just ridiculously big and heavy. Fast forward 4 years later, something like that, and we got this. That original Monster, that Monster was 1,600 watts. So this is more than double the battery and damn close to almost double the weight. That thing was around 60 pounds, 65 pounds, 60 pounds. Whoa. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Wheels up. Okay, got my phone here. Hey, there it is. EX20S. It's cool that the top pads are already attached. The bottom ones, I don't. So what? Are these supposed to be jump pads? I mean, who's going to jump this thing? I'm not gonna. I highly doubt that I will put these lower pads on, but I don't know. Maybe not. All right. So let's see if it turns on. That is the next step. All right. So let's do this. Which one is power? Looks like the right one is power. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn off. Isn't that what you do? I've never had a recent Pagoda wheel that I had to do that, but I think that's the way you get it out of transport mode. You turn. Oh wait, no, yeah. Oh shit, no. You got to hold the lift switch while you're doing it. Okay. Turn it on. Okay. Hold lift switch. 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Turn it off. Now when I turn it back on, it will hopefully balance. Yes, it's balancing. Nice. Okay. It lives. It has survived the journey. That is a great thing. There's probably no air in the shock, and I don't know that I really need to put air in the shock right now. I did. Okay. There it is. The thing looks ridiculously big. I have gotten the advice that, well, it's always good advice with any wheel, really, is to go through and check out the various fasteners, make sure that everything seems securely on there. Oh, that's right. I did want to see if I can connect to this with my phone with Darkenspot. Wait, isn't that the lift switch? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. This off. All right, kickstand looks good. I don't think that I will be putting this wheel on a stand. I mean, maybe I will just to test it to see how my stands work with it, but kickstand feels pretty sturdy, actually. All right, let's see if I can connect to this with Darkenspot. Let's turn it back on. Did I mention this thing is really heavy? It really is. All right, there. It sees it. All right, we're connected. Oh, specify your model. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. I haven't connected to a Pagoda wheel with Darkenspot in a long time. I don't know that. Is the EX20 going to... Whoa. Is the EX20 going to be in the list even? EX, EXN, Monster Pro, D10, Master, Hero, EX2S. There we go. Does anyone know what the official name of this is? Is it the EX2S or the EX20S? It was going to be the EX2S. And then I think they changed it to the EX20S. It says the battery is at 49%. I was curious to do a lift test on it, but shit, man. I mean, I don't know. I need to put it on the ground to do that. I need to rest a little bit. I'm old. So let me just turn this off and put it on a stand for now. And we can talk. We can talk about things. There we go. Okay. Whew. All right. Can you believe it's here? It's unbelievable. Wait to hear the end of this story. Got my pump. Even though I still have my pump for the V11 that I guess I could use. Let's see, how does this work? Why? Okay. I don't know if this pump's any better or worse than other pumps I've had. I'm trying to cut it out of the packaging without perforating the hose, because that would be really stupid if I did that. There we go. All right. Nope, one more. Always cut away from you. Safety first. All right. Okay, I guess this is hardware if you wanted to mount it on a bike, because it is just a bike pump. Keep that for later. Here is a bag with a piece of foam in it. Or maybe the pump was in here. I don't know. Throw that over there. All right. Hey, it's out. Isn't that great? It's very exciting. All right. All right. We have some comments that have come in while I got the big beast on the table. Yeah, you can't see it very well, can you? All right, if I do that, there you go. Now you can take it in all of its glory. All right, I haven't seen a Begode manual in a long time, and it looks like this is a all-in-one manual. It has a number of Begode wheels in it, and I bet one of those wheels is not an EX2S. It's just a feeling. Oh shit, it is. No way. Hollow motor. What does this say here for? Okay. So I did want to verify that this is the C38 motor, which is the high torque. I mean, I would have been fine with the high speed as well. I mean, that's actually what I requested. But I was told by Ian that one of two things was the case, that either the high-speed wheel was back ordered for a very long time, or they might stop making it completely. And that is what I was told. Oh, shit, I can't see it. Can't see it. So anyways, that's why I wound up with a high torque. It's not like I need a high torque wheel for the kind of riding I do, but that's what I have. And that's fine. You should still be fast enough for me. Oh man, I gotta let's see if I can see this. It's right on the outside rim normally, isn't it? The motor type C38. Yep. Okay. So it is a C38. It has been confirmed. That's good. Why is my phone down to 40%? What the hell? Oh, I know why. Okay. Put this bad boy back up. Oh, God. Yeah, the one question I have about this, with a wheel like this, can you imagine if you have a severe wreck with this? Now, I know the battery box on this is a little bit more substantial than the Master. You know, this is metal as opposed to the Master that is pretty flimsy plastic. I think Chris Clark is planning to do some sort of fairing for this as well. He just hasn't had one yet. I guess to get him, I don't know, maybe I can give him measurements that he can make something, because I definitely would feel better having something around this metal. Because I could just imagine the force if this thing went down at speed. I think it would rip the shit out of it. That's my opinion, but okay. Hold on, here we go. Optimus thinks it's the Commander. You thought I bought a Commander? No. Nope. I think it's pretty unlikely that I will buy a non-suspension wheel ever again. And sure, we can talk about the V13. I didn't. I mean, that release while I was still away, but I have seen the video. I have seen. Seems like everybody and their mother did a V13 reaction video, and I do have thoughts about it. But I plan to do like a sort of a comedic thing with the V13 when I get a chance. I have an idea floating around in my head. Spartacus, yes, thank you. Open the bottom, don't lift that bad boy out with a hernia. Yes, that would have been bad, but I did have to lift it on the table. I assume the only way you can lift this thing is you grab the suspension and you grab it under the light. I mean, there's nowhere else to lift it. You can't lift it on that handle. Like, I haven't seen what George does, go George go. I haven't seen how I don't know if I've seen him lift it, but it seems like that's the only way you can do it. Like, if you had this, in a place where you have to go up steps, you couldn't lift it. I mean, you would have to turn it on and then just kind of like climb the steps with it. You could not lift this. I'm a decently strong individual, and this thing is, it's a lot to lug around. It's awkward. Yes, UC with Lucifer. It is definitely an official machine. But I thought that's the first time I've ever seen. Maybe they've been including the certificate of compliance in all of their wheels now, even though it's supposedly it verifies to a number of standards according to this sheet. But there is a remark at the bottom, and the remark says, part of the remark, it begins with, the product has been verified on a voluntary basis, and it satisfies the requirements of the certification mark of ECM. So, I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, right? I guess they're trying. Optimus says, I hit the jackpot. Yeah, well, jackpots aren't free. I wish I hit the jackpot and it was free. I did have to pay for it, but it's here. But I don't know. What do you guys think I could sell my Sherman for? I don't know. Has less than, I don't think it has much more. It might not even have 500 miles on it, my Sherman. So, Optimus, you're looking at my backside. Oh, sorry. I didn't know that. Duff's hernia just popped out. Well, hernia has never stopped popping out. Like, my hernia is small. It's like maybe the size of my thumb. And like when I'm laying down, you don't even see it. But when you're standing, you can see it. So it doesn't feel like it popped out or anything. And I don't feel it. It doesn't hurt. But it's just something that basically either you fix it or you just roll with it, and eventually it'll get worse and you will have to fix it. So I'm just trying to be a little bit preventative and get it fixed before it gets to that point. And also because I spent so much money on medical things already this year, it makes sense to get this done now because I've already satisfied my deductible. Sliders, gliders. This is a 3,600 watt hour battery. Biggest available currently. I mean, the Commander has a 3,600 watt hour battery as well. And the Monster Pro. Those are the only three wheels, right? That have 3,600 watt hour batteries. Oh, wait, no, the Max does. I'm sorry. The Sherman Max has a 3,600 watt hour battery as well now. So I believe there's 4 wheels that have a battery of this size. But none of those other wheels are as heavy as this wheel. I'm not sure why this is so much heavier. If it's a similar battery size, maybe it's the metal frame, or I don't know. It's nuts. Larry's here. Looks great. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll dress it up with some EUC Army stickers. Yeah, we'll deck it out. Bunny slippery stuff is going to feel that tomorrow. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to take it down as well. And if I do a free spin test, I'm going to probably take it down and put it back up again too. Optimus, where is all your wheel stands? They're back in my hobby room with my other wheels that are on the wheel stands. I don't need to put this on a wheel stand right now. I mean this kickstand feels surprisingly secure, much better than like for example what's on the V11, which is not. This feels good enough that I would just maybe store it that way. I might be transitioning, depending on what I come up with. I might start storing wheels in the garage. Maybe I have the space in there now because it's only one car. So I might start storing some wheels in the garage. Maybe a little safer to keep it in the garage. I can use my fire sacks. It's just a matter of I don't have a outlet on the wall that I would like to store them on. So I don't know. I'll think about it. All right. Oh, I see. I saw Marty's face. Hey, Marty. EX20S, yes. Stuff just killed. What did I kill? I didn't kill anything. I'm good. Splash 6 stuff. It's my first time live in the live stream. I've been listening to all your live stream videos at work the past month. Oh, cool, man. Well, if you've been doing that, you must be doing much work because this is live stream number 64. And since most of my live streams run in the neighborhood anywhere between 2 and 4 hours, you've been doing a lot of listening, buddy. For some reason, I get a blabbermouth in this scenario. I don't know why. Hate mail. Imagine falling off the front and having this wheel run you over. Well, my thought is either the wheel coming off the wheel and the wheel continues and hits something. Talk about not centrifugal force, but just impact it could have potentially when it's hitting, or if it just goes down and rolls a couple dozen times, and I just imagine it would be really bad. Scout says, "Congrats, stuff. Bummer about the high torque." That's why I want to do a lift test, because I have heard some people said that, oh, the high torque only can go in the upper 30s or whatever. I don't think that's true because I've heard other people say that actually speed-wise, they're very, very similar. There's not a huge difference. I don't know if that's true or not, but I will find out. I think Wrongway's EX20S is a high torque, right? Am I remembering that incorrectly? I think it is. MeUC and my EUC just left the Cobra EVX stream. Oh, Cobra is doing a stream tonight? Really? Okay. Well, I did not know that, but okay. Are they done? I guess. And yes, I did get the high torque. I just verified it. Bunny Slipper says you need torque for such a heavy wheel. I guess, but well, I don't know. I mean, it's a 108-pound wheel, so say, I mean, that would be the same as saying, okay, well, if I weigh 180 pounds, which I weigh, or if I weigh 210 pounds, then I would need high torque, right? It's I don't know if the 30 pounds makes that much of a difference if it is via the weight of the wheel or the weight of the rider. I would think kind of 30 pounds is 30 pounds as far as the need for torque. Sliders, gliders, I said earlier, 3,600 watt hours. Marty, congrats. Just came across your live stream. Yeah, Marty. Don't ruin the surprise ending to my story, Marty. Don't ruin it. Marty knows the surprise ending because Marty and I, we share things. But Marty is aware of the surprise ending to my story that it might, I don't know when that ending will be or when that ending will be revealed, but it is definitely in progress. Let me say that. Optimus would like to see this baby in action. Well, that'll happen this weekend, more than likely. I'm not taking it out now. Amped Electric Games. Hi, Duff. Hi. What's up, Amped? How you doing, man? I'm aware of the Amped Electric Games. I know they're coming up. MeUC, my EUC. Hi, Marty. Looking forward to October. Yeah, and Marty, I am still thinking about the LA ride. I'm thinking about it. I have not written that off. You know, I have two. I just took a trip to New York. I'm taking a trip. I'm leaving next week on another trip. But I have not written off going to LA because you only live once, right? We'll see. We shall see, Marty. Hopefully you can keep a spot for me. Stu Ross. Hi, Duff. What's up, Stu? How you doing? Robert from California. Shermans have retained their value very well. I've seen used ones selling from $2,800 to over $3,000. Really? Wow. Well, mine is Gen 1 with the wider rim installed and the marginally higher pedal hangers. I did that on video. I have to check the mileage on it though, but it's it's never been crashed or dropped seriously. Nothing bad. Nope, that is not an EXN. That is it's an EX20S. Slider, Sherman Max, same battery. Yeah, so I think I'm right there. It's the Sherman Max, the Monster Pro, the Commander, and the EX20S that are 3,600 watt hour wheels. Am I missing one? No. It's those. Yeah. So MeUC, my EUC. Hey, Duff, only the high speed version of the EX20S has the 3,600 watt hours. No, that is not true because there's a sticker on the front of this that says 3,600. I'll show you in a weird way because I'm not lifting this thing over to the camera to show you. That's for damn sure. Yeah, but Go changes shit all the time, right? So that is no longer the case, what you just said. Because, dun, dun, dun. Let's see, can we get this in the camera? Okay. Is there any way that we can read that on the camera? Let's see. Let's change the angle. There we go. 3,600 watt hours on the high torque motor. Yeah. So yeah, should have good range. I'm curious. I'm very curious to do a range test on it. See how close it is to the Sherman. Very curious indeed. All right. It looks like a massive stapler remover. Yes, I don't disagree with that. Although it has grown on me. I mean, like I said, when this was first announced and they didn't have the battery case painted black, it was all silver. I thought it looked ridiculous. It's crazy how just painting it black made a difference because it hides that humongous battery box. It doesn't make it as prominent as when it was silver. So it's interesting. I just don't want to crash it. You see with Lucifer, got a deadlift, a free spin? Yes, I'm aware of that. I will. I'll do it. I'll do it. Lemony Snicket. What's up, Duff? Can't wait to see how you enjoy this wheel. Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, everyone has said that it's such a, for a road environment, like if I was a severe off-road rider, it probably wouldn't be that great, but everyone says it's just so soft and comfortable on the road, eats up the bumps. That's exactly what I want. But I want to have the ability to cruise comfortably in the low 30s when I want to, and have range that outlasts me, range that is more than I would want to normally do or ever do at one shot on a wheel. And I think this might be it. I hope it is. Spent a lot of money. Do a lift test. I will. I'm resting. Once I finish this Miller Lite, I will do the lift test. Okay, it's almost gone, so you don't have to wait long. So Marty says only the 134 volt high torque wheels have the same speed as the 100 volt high speed wheels, such as the Sherman. Well, I'll let you know what the free spin is on this. I don't know that I've seen anyone do a free spin lift test on a high torque EX20S. So this is going to be like a worldwide event coming up right here. So tell your friends. You might want to let them know that Duff is going to do a lift test on a EX20S high torque. You know, get on your Telegram groups, Marty, and let everybody know. Simon's at work. He's getting paid to watch me unbox a wheel. That sounds like a good job to me. Sliders, gliders. Yeah, and I told the story earlier. This wheel has been facilitated by me, or for me, by Ian at Speedy Feet. And he didn't have to do that. I bought a wheel from Ian in the past. I've helped Ian out with some 3D printing stuff in the past. I bought a couple accessories from Ian. But he really helped me out here. And I appreciate it. So I'm definitely going to be promoting Ian whenever I talk about the EX20S. I love Ian. I mean, he is one of the original guys that I watched when I didn't know how to ride an EUC. I wasn't even familiar really with what an EUC was. Ian got me started in that journey. He was one of the big guys that got me started in that journey. Silent Hunter, if a car cuts you off, I feel sorry for the car. This will leave a mark. This will definitely leave a mark in a car. Definitely. Unfortunately, it'll also leave a mark on your body as well. Marty says you have almost 90 riders already. Wow, Marty, that's way ahead of last year's pace. That's great. You'd be the first famous person to attend. Yeah, famous. Yeah, I'd like to make it happen if I can. I'm in one of those modes where I'm like, hey, you can't bury money with you. I don't have children. So I might as well enjoy myself, right? So hey, there you go. There's some enjoyment right there. And like I said, I'll sell the Sherman to recoup some of the money. And Larry out in LA is very interested in my Z10. And even though I love the Z10, I don't know. I might sell it to Larry. It'd almost be like me, I wouldn't own it, but I would still feel connected because, Larry and I are friends, and it would feel interesting to have Larry have my Z10. Robert McKenzie, I don't remember seeing your name on a stream before, Robert. You're from Queensland, Australia. Welcome, buddy. I get a lot of people from Australia that are on my streams. I guess maybe time-wise it works out because it's, morning there or around lunch, something like that. So I guess that works out. Points 13. Don't remember seeing you on a live stream either. Points. If you guys want to help me with the live stream, if you want to, no, I'm not going to ask you for money, but you can. You're always welcome to become a channel member because that's always very exciting for people. I'll mention you in most videos when I don't forget. And there's other perks, but If you want to help out the stream, all you got to do is if you click the like button, click you like the stream. What that does is that lets YouTube know that, hey, people are watching this, people are interacting with the stream, they like it, and then they send out notifications to other people saying, oh, well, maybe they would like to see this as well. So you can help out the stream by just clicking like. It's very easy. Very easy, very simple, and very free. Optimist says, Duff, what sort of temperature those batteries are best operated? We have some serious hot weathers here. Would they be overheated and catch fire? No. I mean, hot weather, it's been 95 degrees and 90% humidity here for the last couple months. No. What overheats batteries is not normally ambient temperature. It's well, I shouldn't. Well, no, that is true. It's stress on the cells, like delivering more current than a cell is rated for. That will make it heat up. Just ambient temperature isn't going to heat them up enough to make a cell unstable, generally speaking. Although it probably isn't a good idea to keep a wheel in the trunk of a hot car, maybe. But I will not be subjecting it to anything that would make the cells overheat. Ratman is here. Murray, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Murray is in Australia as well. Murray is also a member, and Murray always says, hey, man, I never get to watch live streams. Well, this one I did sort of announce earlier today. I put something on the Electric Unicycle Forum group on Facebook just so people had a little bit of a heads up. So, yeah, welcome, Murray. MIUC, my EUC. Well, if that's the case now, what the heck is the difference between the high torque and the high speed versions of the EX20S? Well, I assume that the difference is the top speed on the HS should be faster. That's why I want to do a lift test. I want to see what the lift test is on this. Scout, maybe you can ship your new wheel out to California. If you go, put that high torque to maximum use. I don't know that I want to do those kind of trails that Marty does on his tour. Larry already said I could borrow one of his wheels while I'm out there. Maybe. So I'm not worried. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of wheels, and I'm confident that someone will trust me with one because I'm a very responsible person. I would not be reckless with your wheel, even though I am extreme. Okay, so, all right, so now I've rested a little bit. I'm ready to do a lift test in this thing. So, all right, I think taking it down will be easier than lifting it up. So let's take it down. All right, let's brace the core. Let's not strain the hernia. Okay. And let's turn it on. All right. And let's connect with Darkness Spot and see what the hell happens. Am I connected? I am. Okay. And now this is battery at 49%. It's half charged. So obviously at full charge, I would expect to get slightly better numbers. Maybe, oh God. That's the thing I'm worried about with this thing because it's so heavy. Like say you're stopped and you're just, you just have one leg on it and you're not paying attention and it leans a little bit far to the side. That's going to be hard to save, man. I can see this thing just popping on its side once in a while. Okay, here we go. So, all right, we are getting readings. You can't see this, but you just have to trust me because I'm trustworthy, right? So we're going to lift it up and let's see what it dies at. Heave ho! Okay, so you can see what I just saw and tell me what you think of it. Okay, did it turn off? Yeah, it did. Okay. Actually, and remember, this is at half battery. And let's get an angle that you can see. 48.1 miles an hour. Not bad for a high torque wheel. Let's do one more just to make sure we're accurate. Okay, we're not balancing. There we go. I got the lights are on now. Okay. Are we connected? There we go. Okay, we are connected. We will do one more lift test. Heave ho. Okay. Off with you. Off. All right. Back on the table. Here we go. Using proper lifting form. Oh, jeez. It's insane. All right. All right. Lift test number 2. Come on, baby. Consistent. 48.4 miles an hour. No load lift test speed. And let me get another beer to refresh myself. Now, if I just had my hernia surgery, I could not have done that, because like after the surgery is done, then I'm on like really limited exertion for I think like 3 weeks. I could not have just done that. It would have been really stupid. I could have, but it would have been really stupid to do. So there you go. What do you think about that? So if it free spins at 48.4 at half charge, I don't know. Do you think full charge it would do 50 free spin? And if it can do 50 free spin, that means that I could do 40, right? Yeah, I could do 40, which I'm not comfortable riding at 40, but I can certainly do 32, 33 as long as I want. That's what I would say. I'm pleased by those results. I'm curious what you guys think. UC with Lucifer. I have old guy's knees, so I agree with Duff here. I doubt I'll never buy another non-suspension wheel. Yeah, amen. I agree. Robert says the EX20S bombs around San Francisco like nothing else. It's so comfy and crazy range, especially riding the 30s. Yeah, that is why I bought it. I did not expect that, but that appears to be the case. I mean, it's so many people have said this wheel it's great. It's great. You know, the Master is a cool wheel, man. Fast, torquey, range kind of sucks. Right? You know, you can take a Master on the trails. I wouldn't want to ride trails with a 108-pound wheel. But for someone that's a 90-95% hard surface rider, I think it's going to be sweet for me personally. MUC, my EUC. Hope you got the Shimco 244 tire. Otherwise, the terrain is binary that you go from upright then sideways, no in between. Everybody replaces a stock knobby with that one or a street tire. Okay, let's see what tire is on it. I'm not, Marty coined the term tire nerds. Kind of goes along with battery nerds. I'm not a tire nerd. I've never changed. The only tire I've ever changed because I wanted a different tire was when I went from the street tire on the Sherman to the knobby, just because the knobby is what I had on the demo Sherman. The knobby was good in the swamp. The knobby gives you a little bit extra cushion. That's the only time I ever changed a tire for that reason, that I felt like I wanted to. Otherwise, I'm usually okay. So let's see, what is this? It's a CST. CST, where's the freaking model number? I don't want to spin this thing around some more. All right. I will lay it on its side so we can correctly identify the tire. Like I said, I mean, the Goat is constantly tweaking their models, so you never really know what you're going to get until you get it. It's kind of my impression. CST. Where do I see the model number? Standard rim. Nylon. I don't see the model number, dude. It's a CST tire. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe one of you guys can tell me where the model number is. I'm not sure. I don't see it. But I mean, with the kind of riding I'm doing, I'm not carving hard. And I certainly wouldn't carve hard on a wheel like this. This heavy? No. If I want to carve hard, I'll take out my V12 or something like that. Murray. I should send Ian a comb and some instructions. Oh, come on, be nice to Ian. Ian's a good dude. Oh, wow. E. Simon, no one has done a lift test on the EX20S because it's so heavy and has nowhere to lift effectively. Well, that bracket underneath the light does feel substantial. There's some, let's see, are they still how sharp are they? Yeah, there are some sharp edges if you reach towards the back, but if you just grab it on the front, it's not bad. So that's the only place you can lift it as far as I can determine. So yeah, there you go, man. The benefits of 30 years of weight training. I can do lift tests on EX20Ss. EX20S. Robert says it would be perfect for Marty's tour. You think? Well, I guess, I mean, Marty doesn't do real rocky. Well, I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe I didn't think Marty did real rocky rides on the tour, but maybe he does. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be great for like going up the mountains and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the only way I could effectively do that is if I drove out to California. I don't have the time to do that. You know, it's at a minimum, 4 days to drive out there unless you want to be a zombie. And then, you know, it's a week tour, 4 days to drive back. So I would need 2 weeks plus to make that happen. And that's not realistic for me. Larry, in reference to my Z10, you'll keep it warm for me. Yeah, I appreciate that. Sliders, gliders, Gotway wheels overheat. I haven't not heard of the EX20S overheating. I've not heard any reports of that. Obviously, Monster Pros overheat. You know, Marty did his air scoop mod for his Monster Pro because it ran hot. The Commander has been known to run hot. You're right. A lot of Begode wheels have had some issues with heat dissipation. This wheel, I do not expect that because it's all metal. I mean, it's almost all metal. So all of that metal is serving as a heat sink for the system boards. So I'll let you know when I ride it, but I expect this thing to run extremely cool. And I have not heard of anyone say that their EX20S runs hot. More concerned about my hernia here. I'm going to step off camera and take a look at it. Just make sure it hasn't changed in appearance because it's a little low. Nah, it looks the same. It didn't grow. It didn't pop out any bigger. So I'm okay. Larry, in reference to the wheel, I could have the Hero HT or the Sherman. Both are great for parts and or all of Marty's rides. Yeah, I mean, when I mentioned to Marty that I could, possibly use one of your wheels, I guess he said that the Hero, I guess, would have a hard time with some of the rides as far as range goes. But I've heard people getting surprising range on the Hero. So I don't know, like what's the most miles you've done on your Hero, Larry? But of course, it's probably a flatter ride that you've done it on. But I'm curious, like I haven't heard what the max range someone has gotten on a Hero. Marty. So instead of abusing his EX20S on the tour, he wants to trash mine or others' wheels. No, dude, come on. You know me. I would not abuse anything. I'm conscientious. I mean, you might not realize it, but I actually am. I would not abuse anybody's wheels. I would not. Scout says, Duff's been tricked by KingSong into thinking his new wheel won't be good on trails. No, I'm not saying it won't be. Well, I am, just because of the weight. That's what I'm worried about. Because on an uneven trail surface, there's occasions where you're just gonna. I mean, you could hit a rut, you could hit something that's gonna throw the wheel off to the side. And with this thing being so heavy, once it starts going to the side, it's gonna be awful hard to bring it back. Now I don't know how well balanced it is. I mean, I would assume it's well balanced. I mean, you have equal amount of battery on either side, so I would think it's a balanced wheel. And everyone said that as far as when you are on the wheel, the riding experience, it feels fine. It appears to feel balanced. So that's what I'm expecting. And that's what I would like. And I have heard people say, like with the S20, it doesn't feel so balanced. I think the general consensus is it feels back heavy. It wants to tip backwards. which you get used to. You can get used to it, but it definitely doesn't sound like it is quite as balanced as what the EX20S might be. Marty says 48 miles per hour of no load, so the max rideable speed will be 37, just like every other high torque Gotway wheel. Well, it makes sense, right? It's a 100 volt motor. You know, probably the same C38. It is the same C38 that's another Begode wheels. So, but that is 48 miles an hour at half battery. So, at higher battery levels, more might be possible. But I don't ride sustained 37. I mean, I'll cross it briefly. I don't ride that sustained, so that's fine. You know, that's fine. You see with Lucifer, poor Duff is winded down. I'm not that winded. I'm okay. I do endurance training. So MiUC says safe riding at 38 miles an hour, 50% battery. That's pretty good still. Yeah, I would say so. So is that the rule of thumb you guys go with, like 10 miles an hour? Because I've heard people say 6 to 7 miles an hour below the no load lift test speed is what some people will classify as the top speed of a wheel. But I mean, I'd rather have more safety margin than less. So yeah, I guess guesstimating 10 miles an hour less than the no load speed would be you'd be pretty safe there. Optimus says, oh wait, so you can see the wheel laying on its side. There you go. Optimus says, the wheel looks bare. How would it hold a heavy fall? Probably not well. That's my guess. That's why I'm very interested in Clark pads potentially. I do need to reach out to Chris and just see if he wants me to just take measurements for him. You know, depending on his 3D modeling skills, or if someone else helps him. Sometimes you can make something pretty accurate just with accurate measurements and some pictures. So I'll see if he wants that. Am I going to trick mine out like George? He did some cool stuff to his wheel. Well, I know he added like a USB port for charging. He added additional lights. No, I don't have any plans to do that. Although I might mount like those strip lights like I have in my Sherman. I could do that, and I could power it off of a battery pack like I do on my Sherman. I have a couple of USB battery packs. I could do that, maybe. And the nice thing is with this frame configuration, there's a million places you can zip tie something in very easily or Velcro something in. So there are a lot of options there. I saw some of the stuff George did, and he stuffed a bunch of stuff in his wheel. So, but no, I don't have any immediate plans to do that. Marty says the CST tires don't have model numbers. Okay, so if they don't have model numbers, how do you know what model you have, Marty? Just by reading the pattern like Braille? Is that what you do? Oh, we got a new member, Splash. Splash just joined. He's a member of the channel now. Thanks, Splash. I appreciate it, buddy. Much appreciated. I think the last live stream I did, outside of that live stream where I was in a parking lot, I had a few people join up during that live stream. So yeah, much appreciated, buddy. You get access to special emojis that you can use both in the live stream and on commenting on my videos. You get a discount on the store, and I will include you in the shout outs I do for members in most videos when I remember. MiUC and my EUC. I'm not a tire nerd at all, but the knobby stock is terrible for this size wheel. It needs a wheel under 70 pounds to feel all right. It's too heavy. Look at the tread. If it's uniform, then no bueno. All right, let me look. Yes, it is. Well, I mean, the tread on the side, the knobs on the side are offset. They're offset from the three sets of knobs in the middle. I mean, looking at the profile, I mean, it doesn't look like it would fall off terribly, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I suspect I will be just fine, but if I'm not, I will be honest and I will tell you. But I mean, how different is that from my Sherman tire? I mean, I don't know. I thought my Sherman tire was very similar, my stock knobby Sherman tire, but I don't know. I'm not a tire nerd, so I don't stare into the tread that much. But I understand why certain people do. I mean, people that are constantly, they're cutting hard, doing a lot of tight turns. I understand. because what can happen is if the profile of the tire is what they're saying, where you have like a basically flat surface, but then you get to the edge and all of a sudden it drops off like this. When you're trying to turn, you're controlled in your turn, and all of a sudden it just feels like it wants to fall over. Yeah, that's not a good feeling, I'm sure. But I think that I think I'll be okay. But I'll let you know. Okay, so you found the emojis. Very good, very good. Robert says, my buddy has not had any issues with his running hot, even with a lot of hill climbing. My EXN runs much hotter. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this whole metal frame is a massive heat sink. Massive. That is the advantage of this metal frame. Taking cues from Inmotion and KingSong that they do passive cooling, courtesy of massive heat sinks. Bagode finally caught on. Good for them. Did you guys hear I think Afiz said that Bagode was stopping production on any wheel, on all their wheels except for the Master, the EX20S. What was it? Was it the Monster Pro? I thought there was only 3 or 4 wheels that supposedly they were going to continue to make. Did anyone else hear that? I saw that somewhere. I don't remember where it's on, but yeah, I did see that somewhere, and that's interesting. I wonder if that's a short-term decision or a long-term decision. Marty says, the modern Hero Master EX20 wheels don't overheat. They run very cool. The Master doesn't even have a fan now. Get with the times. Does the EX20S have a fan? I think it does, doesn't it? I think it does, but I don't know that it's going to need it, which is good because usually the fans that they've put in their wheels are kind of shitty and loud. MIUC, my EUC says, from what I've heard, the tire is fine unless you want to turn it all. Then it throws the wheel 10 degrees sideways and can be quite jarring. All right. I will see. I will see what happens to me. Marty says, I asked earlier about the range on the Hero. The Hero's range sucks. I could have swore that, like Larry said at one point, like he went like, 45 miles on his Hero, I thought he said. I don't know. Maybe that was at a real slow speed. Okay. Well, Hero's range sucks. All right. Marty would know, so I will take your word on it. Simon says 35 to 40 is a great cruising speed. The EX20S will be great for your riding style, I think. Yes, I tend to agree, Simon. I think you are right. Okay, so Larry did answer that question. So Larry has gotten 50 miles on his Hero. Some hills, all pavement. Yeah, so, I mean, that's good range, right? Don't you think, Marty, for an 1,800 watt-hour battery? That's good. It's not bad. Have you, Marty, if you've done a range test on your Hero, I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah. I don't know that if you plan to or if you don't want to, but I would be curious what range Marty would get on a Hero, because Marty typically, when he does his range test where he's going a pretty consistent 18, 19 miles an hour, he usually gets the best range of anyone that does range tests. So I am curious what Marty would get on his, but maybe he doesn't want to do one. And Larry says, for things like the Fullerton Loop in Griffith Park, the Hero would be awesome. I'll take your word for it. And you can charge in between. All right, so there's charging spots up there. Okay, sure. Grab a fast charger. Marty says, on some rides like Mount Wilson, it's hard not to drop the wheel multiple times. Yeah, I would not feel good about dropping the EX20S just because there's so much mass coming down. But unless I had some sort of auxiliary pads on it. Something. I mean, I can probably pretty easily design something for the battery box, at least for myself, that I can print out a TPU just to protect it, I guess, from a frontal impact. I can do that. I can probably design something similar to what I did for the Sherman, like a headlight helmet for this maybe. Yeah, I can. I could do that for sure. So yeah, maybe I'll mess around myself, but Chris has a lot more resources than I do, so I'm sure whatever solution he would come up with would probably be better, but I might be able to come up with my own as well. So something else to do, right? It's okay. It's good to have things to do. Larry says the Sherman would be great for Mount Baldy. Okay. Now, Larry, you've told me, or Larry, Marty, you've said, hey, Duff, if you come out to do the ride, you got to do it all 7 days. Like, why? Why do I have to do all 7 days, Marty? Like, what if I am physically hurting? Why do I have to do all 7 days? I mean, it's not like, I mean, unless I'm gonna take autograph requests or something, which I think is highly unlikely. Why do I have to be there all 7 days if I don't feel physically up to it? Because my understanding is everybody does not do all 7 days. But we can talk about that later. Scout says, on my Hero, I did 35 miles with 30% battery left, moderate hills, though, and high-speed version. So better range than high torque. Yeah, that is the other thing I'm curious about with the high torque motor. What kind of range am I going to get? I still think with 3,600 watt hours of battery, that's a lot of battery to throw at it. So I think I still will do pretty darn good. Yeah, Larry's got my back. He doesn't care if I drop the wheel. Larry, if I drop the wheel, I would almost sacrifice myself before I would drop your wheel. Like if I saw it dropping, I might just like dive underneath it to pat it from the impact, because I take that shit seriously. Optimus, what's the average time for you guys to change a tire? That's a loaded question, dude. It totally depends on the wheel. Some wheels it's relatively easy, like the 16X, easy. Probably the easiest wheel that I've done a tire change or a tube change on. 16X, super easy. V11, which I haven't done, but I've seen it. Not easy. It totally depends on the wheel. Some are best, some are terrible. Joe's here. Hey, Duff, what's new? Well, that's new, Joe. My EX20S. Hence why I'm here right now, because I unboxed it. And I did a no load lift test on it. 48.4 miles an hour at 49% battery. Let's see. I want you guys to be able to see the wheel, but I don't want to. Oh, there we go. Because the camera is focusing both on me and then it focuses on the wheel. So, all right. Robert says you have plenty of leg and core strength to keep that thing balanced on your leg at a stop. It's a very balanced wheel. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But I do remember like the first time I went out on the Sherman, I think the demo Sherman, and I stopped at the end of my street and I got off of it and just kind of treated it like any other wheel and went right down because I wasn't prepared for it. So I'll try to be more prepared with this wheel, or I just won't tilt it as far. Stu Ross, 2-year warranty with Speedy Feet, Duff. No, this was not a conventional Speedy Feet purchase. I don't think there's any warranty through Ian. It was a drop ship. So basically, he just facilitated the transaction. He placed the order, he paid for it, and then I paid him. So no, this would not have conventional coverage through Speedy Feet. I didn't even ask him, and I wouldn't. That isn't expected. So if something goes wrong with this, I'll have to source parts, some other way through him. I mean, he would get me parts if I needed it, or I could go through other U.S. sources as well. But yeah, this is something to keep in mind. Ian is able to do this for you. I had the option to either do it through boat or air. Like I said, air shipping on this was like $900. If I would have done it through boat, it would have been by sea. It would have been like $400 to do that. So, and if I did it by sea, God knows when I would get it? Maybe a month from now. So, I bit the bullet and paid more money. So Marty says that the Sherman uses Kenda tires. Okay, Kenda tires, which have a better profile, according to the tire nerds. Yeah, I mean, I could always. I still have my. Yeah, it would fit, right? I have my road tire for my Sherman. I still have it. It's in the closet in the hobby room. I could put that on here if I wanted to, and that tire was fine. So I could put that tire on. I don't know how tough it is to change the tire on this, but I don't think it's probably very hard. So I do have that option. I could put the stock Sherman road tire on the EX20S, unless someone thinks I can't do that, but I think I can. Oh, we have a tire nerd. Amped Electric Games is a tire nerd. He says, as a tire nerd, the Kenda has a rounder profile, the Shimco 241, but not as round as the Shimco 244. The small block knobby is preferable for on or off road riding. So, I mean, you guys can see the tire right there behind me. I don't know that it's close enough that you can determine which model. Well, this is a CST. It's not a Shimco. It's a CST. So I don't know. Can you tell what it is? I can't. But tire nerds will tell us. Me, you see my EUC. Thanks so much for getting this wheel and live streaming it. I'm getting this wheel, and since I can't ride before I buy, everything you and George put out helps me greatly. Oh, you're welcome, buddy. No problem. Yeah, I'll like I said, I'm going away. I leave next Thursday. I should have some time. I have to help my ex-wife move. Or no, she's not moving. I'm helping her with stuff related to moving this weekend. But I will find time to get out on this and do my thing. I'm trying to think pressure-wise. I think a lot of guys talk about putting like 250 pounds of pressure in this shock. I mean, they really put a lot of pressure in it. So I'll go to 250 maybe. Like I said, my normal walking around weight is about 180 pounds. Probably riding weight might be closer to 190. So I'll start at 250 and see. I talked to Ray Rockney. He is an EX20S, and I think he said he put a different shock on it, I believe. I'll have to touch base with him. But we'll see. We're going to try it stock as is and go from there, see how it is. I suspect I will be fine. I'm not very... I don't have great needs. I'm not that fussy when it comes to the wheel performance. If it goes fast and far, I'm pretty good. That's good for me. Scout says my Hero's overheat warning beep started 76 degrees Celsius. Yeah. I think it'll shut off at 80, right? Right, Marty? Something like that. Yeah, I would never ride a wheel into the 70s temperature-wise. That's just me. Are you saying that your Hero overheats? It certainly shouldn't. I mean, the Hero has the same metal frame as the Master and the EX20S, so I would not think that you would ever get to the point that you have an overheat condition with your Hero. Larry giving more details on his Hero range. Ran out of gas at 50 miles. Keep in mind, no backpack and mostly flats, 25 to 30 miles an hour. Well, for a range, if you were doing a range test at 25 to 30 miles an hour, which, although that's a more realistic speed, I mean, if you're going for max range, like again, if Marty was doing a range test like where he's doing 18 like he used to, I don't know if Marty even does 18 mile an hour range tests anymore, because his wheel performance is so much better. But if he was doing it at that speed, then you should get more than that. If you did the normal loop that Marty does for range tests, but I don't know. JCFP Warrior Poet, I believe you were at the last live stream, weren't you? Welcome. I don't think any open frame suspension design is going to have heat issues. I agree with you. Too much airflow through the space set aside for suspension movement. Yeah. I don't know how it could overheat. Now, I just said that, and mine will probably overheat for some reason, but I doubt it. Larry says the apps show less power than there is. I basically ran it to severe tilt back. I think 45 usable miles, maybe 47. Oh, okay. So you were riding through tilt back at the end. Yeah. Like when it's beeping and tilting, no, I don't want to ride it. To me, that is not usable range. To me. Why don't you have it on charge? All right. Well, let's see if it charges, right? I guess that would be good. Actually, I got Ray. I thought Ray mentioned something about some had issues charging. I think he was talking about the EX20S. He said it would be good to put it on a charger right away to make sure that it charges. I think he said that. Oh, wait, no, wait. Well, okay, wait. He might have been thinking something else. Now that I think about it. This is like trying to move around a sumo wrestler, man. It's substantial. This is a substantial wheel. Yeah, I think I can make a nice little headlight cover for this thing. No, yeah, I think you could definitely do it. Yeah, all right. When I'm going to have time to do it, that's another question. I don't know when that will be, but I think I could do it. All right, so let's see how long, how close can I get? But just imagine how long. I don't know how long it officially takes to charge this from empty with a 3 amp charger. Long ass time, I'm sure. It does have 2 charging ports, so that's nice. So take less time maybe. All right, so if I do this, I think I have an extension cord over here. I do. And if I do this, oh wow, shit. How'd that happen? What the heck? My plugs are bent. What the heck? Did the wheel land on them? The plugs, the plugs were bent over. All right, it's plugged in. Okay, charger. There we go. Charger flashed green a few times. Now it is red, so it is charging, and the fan is running. So we are now charging the wheel. This is very exciting, right? Extremely exciting. And let's go over here. There you go. All right. Oh, here we go. What do you mean? It's 8 days? I thought it was 7 days, Marty. It's 8 days. Did you increase the length of this tour? It's 8 days now? Jeez, Marty. Only wimps don't do all 8 days. You told me that there was a number of people that did not do all 8 days, Marty. So, like, for example, last year you had around 100-ish people. How many did all 8 days? I bet half. The people that don't do every day of the tour are limited by vacation days. So, well, I might be limited by physical limitations. I mean, I'm old, dude. Come on. EUC with Lucifer referring to replacing the tube on his V11. He confirms that it was a pain in the ass. Yeah, that was the impression I got. It is a pain in the ass. Against the Grain X, another name I do not recognize in the live streams. Welcome. Is it your own wheel or are you borrowing it? That's a great looking wheel. It is my wheel. I paid for it. Unlike some EUC YouTubers, I am not given wheels. I typically buy my wheels, although I have done some demos of wheels, like when eWheels was sending wheels around for testing. I have been involved in some of those circuits, not all of them. But no, I bought this. Just like I put down the deposit on my S20. Hey, Marty, when is your S22 coming? Because it should be soon, right? The boat's here. I think they got through customs. You should have your S22 any day. I mean, you're in California. Hate mail asking if the range varies between the high torque and high speed. It should. The high speed should get better range than the high torque. The question is how much better. Dr. PD says, Duff, you lifting and riding the EX20S is like me riding and lifting the Sherman Max. You weigh only 133 pounds, Dr. PD. So it's all relative. Yeah, 133 pounds. Yeah, I don't think Chooch weighs much more than that. So. Scout referring to the tire that is on the EX20S. He says it might be a CST 186. Cascade talking about the optimal pressure for the shock on the wheel. 250 pounds. Okay, that's I'll start there. Marty says I put 275 in my master. I think 250 will be too low for you. Are you calling me fat, Marty? Come on. All right, I'll put 275 in, Marty. I don't know what you weigh nowadays, but I have lost weight. Okay, I find this interesting. So Scout says you shut your hero off at 76 degrees when the warning started. Like you said, probably should have shut it off in the 60s. So how did you run your hero up that hot? That should not have gotten that hot. The hero dissipates heat normally very, very well. I mean, were you doing something really, really extreme with your wheel, or what? What was going on there? That's surprising. I've never heard of a hero getting that hot. Never. Amp says the CST 186 is similar to the Kenda 262, but has a larger block pattern and a bigger gap between the second and third row. That sometimes feels odd. What's that gap look like? Let's see. Second and third row. I mean, without a ruler, I can't verify it, but I mean, to me, the spacing looks very even between all rows. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not a tire nerd, but I mean, you guys can tell me. I appreciate any tire nerd information that is shared with me. Marty says the hero overheats at 79. I have no problems riding into the low 70s. So, okay, so you've ridden it. You've gotten it that warm, Marty? Really? See, I'm surprised it would even get that warm. That surprises me that you can actually ride a hero into that kind of temperature. That is very surprising to me. I thought it ran much, much cooler. Scout says, I almost want to buy a second hero with the street tire on it so I can choose a tire each day, but probably just going to buy a Mavic 3 or something. Marty Smart only bought the Mini 2. Yeah. Well, I have 2 drones in my hobby room that definitely do not get used equivalent to the amount of money that I've spent on them. I need to use them more. I really do. Murray says I could chop half the knobs out. No, I've seen these people that say that like they take a razor to their tires and they spend all this time like shaving the tire and stuff. I'm not doing that. Come on. No, I'm not doing that. Splash 6 says, is it common knowledge that the new master, Begode wheels have beeper alarms in their BMS for shorts and overheat? I saw it from the Russian guys over EcoDrift. Amazing teardown on their site. I saw they had something posted. I did not see it. I think I can pump this thing up while it's charging and on the stand. Let me see. I'm just curious how difficult this is. Wait, where's the fill valve? Is that the fill valve? Or is that the... Oh, shit. I think that was the rebound. Turned it way out. It might be bad, but where is the fill valve? Oh, oops, it's right next to it. Okay. I just turned the knob, the big knob in the middle, left a whole bunch, and I just turned it back. I don't know which direction on that rebound knob is softer versus harder. Because it just controls the speed of the rebound, right? Let me get this off. So much freaking weight, man. Oh my God. All right, so let's put this on. Let's see how hard this is to pump up. Can't be any worse than the EX pump. Remember that pump that comes with the EX? It's like 3 feet long and looks like a crucifix. What a stupid design that is. And you had to pump it up to like, you guys want to see what I'm doing? Hi. Like 1,200 PSI, something insane like that. Although people said that suspension felt okay on the road, I still thought it was the stupidest thing ever. It's a terrible design. All right. But that's just me. Whoa, it's moving. It's tilting back more. I guess that's normal. not going to tip back on me, is it? That's interesting. You add air and it wants to come back more. I guess that makes sense because the shock is expanding, so it's pushing this way, but it feels like it wants to tip on me, but hopefully it doesn't because I'm only at 150 psi. I'm here to catch it in case it does. Man, I wasn't expecting to get a workout here. Oh my goodness. I'm not even to 200 yet. What the hell? I should just put my freaking my electric pump on here, I guess. I wonder if it would fit. It probably wouldn't fit. Nah, it wouldn't fit for something for. This is a pain. All right, I'm at 200. Pump, 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 pump. We're pumping. I mean, I did biceps and triceps today, so. All right. Marty, I'm going to try 250 because I'm tired. I'm old. But I haven't given up yet. All right. We'll go a little past 250, Marty, just for you. Because I know you get upset if I don't follow your advice. I don't want to upset you. Hopefully this is like the V11. The V11, when I got it, I added air to the suspension. You know, going on 2 years ago or a year and a half, whatever it's been. I haven't touched it since. All right, 275. Here we go. You're probably supposed to throw that lever to hold air, maybe, so you don't lose as much when you turn it off. Here we go. I'm sweating. We now have pressurized the shock. This is very, very exciting for me. Not really. Okay. And Marty, did you see the big Allen key? This was included for free in the box. So one of the things that Ray mentioned is it's a good idea to go around and check all the bolts because there could be some loose ones. Man, I don't know what was more tiring, lifting that thing or pumping it up. Probably pumping it up. Marty says, my S20 should be arriving any day. Okay, good. It's an S22, Marty. It's not an S20. Come on. Get with the program. It was shipped to Tacoma Port instead of Los Angeles. But since I have the master, it might be a few days before I get around to opening the box. Yawn. That's funny. Well, it's I mentioned on my blog today how this came yesterday. And this is the first time that I can recall that I got an EUC that I did not unbox the same day. And that was just a byproduct of me just having other shit to do. But yeah, this actually sat in the box for an entire day. And part of it's because I wanted to live stream. I wanted to live stream it. So if I was not going to live stream it, I could have opened it yesterday, I guess, but I did not. So not that it matters to you, but there you go. JCFP Warrior Poet. You might have dodged a bullet with the S22. I just saw 2 out of the 3 S22s on a recent group ride died and had to be towed back to the cars. Really? Do you have any more details about it? It's weird. Like I have heard those isolated stories of issues with the S22s. I've heard stories where, like, even though supposedly these all came from the same production run, there's differences between certain wheels. They could have arrived in the same ship. And certain wheels will have some things done while the other ones will not, like updates and stuff. That's annoying, right? And I have, like I said, I have heard of some of them dying or having problems. But I've also seen a shit ton of people saying they love it. I mean, they're very happy with it. It seems like a lot of people like to replace the stock pads with their own pads, whether they're Clark pads or something else. But otherwise, I've heard a lot of people happy with them as well. So I don't know. I mean, you're always going to have problem wheels. Hopefully, it just is isolated cases. Typically, If someone has a problem, you are much more likely to hear about it than if someone does not have a problem. So you have to always keep that in mind. Marty says that he's never gotten your hero hot. It's surprising that okay. I thought the way that you told that story, Marty, that you experienced running your hero into the 70s, but maybe you did not. Scout's hero is a high-speed version. Okay. Yeah, because Larry's is a high torque. Yeah, Larry's is a high torque because he got it from Alien Rise, and I think for a period of time, Alien Rise just had high torque heroes. But Scouts is a high-speed version. Probably runs hotter than the torque versions. I don't know. I don't know that it should run significantly hotter. Not like that. It was 85 degrees out and going up an impossible class 4 dirt road mountain. I'm not sure what classes mean as far as trails go. I'll take your word for it that it was really steep, I assume. So yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, like if you're going up something that's overheat hill level incline for a long period of time, I guess maybe you could get it that hot. So Marty's going. You're going to the Amped Games? Yeah, Seth mentioned to me about them. He asked if I could go. I cannot. That's cool that you might be going. You're the celebrity, Marty. You're the one. Everyone's going to want to. They're going to want your autograph. They're going to want to probably touch your hair, I would imagine. Hopefully, you bring the cape, and you can ride around in the cape. Okay, Marty is going to clarify about the hero. He was explaining the temperature where it overheats. His has never gotten above the low 60s under stressful mountain climbing conditions. How much does Scout weigh? Oh, now Marty's getting personal, insinuating that Scout might be a heavier person. Marty does that sometimes. Marty's not always PC. Okay, so Marty says, once you pump the suspension up, the kickstand will suck. Okay. Well, it has definitely tipped back a lot more. Let's see, does it feel less stable? No, it's okay. It's still fine. It's just, I mean, it would be nicer. Well, it doesn't really matter because I mean, you're charging it from the top anyways. No, it's still fine. It'd be nice if it was a little higher. But oh wow. Okay, I just noticed the way this pedal hanger bracket is set up. Like with my stands, like you could not have it on. This is angled. There's no flat surface. You would have to have the stand right there. All right, now you guys got me curious. Yeah, but it would have to go here. Let me see. I'm just going to go grab a couple of my stands quick just to see how it lines up. Yeah, this could be very tricky because if you have it too wide, then it's going to want to slide. Yeah, oh wow. Yeah, you got to go narrow with this bad boy. Yeah, because right there it'll just slide right up. It's got to be narrow. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to do a real-time test of my stand, which may or may not be a good idea. I don't know. It's off. We are adjusting the stand because you can do that with these. You can adjust them to a width that fits your wheel precisely. So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting that down. Okay. All right there, I think will be good. Wow. This is good to know. Because if you did not adjust this down, you would have a broken stand because it would just split the sides out. Now I have stood on these stands, put a board across the stands and stood on them. So I weigh, 180, depending on when during that test I was closer to 190 back then. So the question is, can I lift this on the stand while it's on the table? Probably not smart. I don't always do smart things. So let's do this. But I should definitely take it off the charger first, right? That would be a good first step to not be charging it while I'm doing this. So let's do that. Let's pull this back. And I can curl 100 pounds with 2 arms, but this is kind of awkward. Will that work if I do that? This is going to be interesting. Let's just leave it at that. Oh God! Holy crap! Yeah, it's so awkward. How can I do this? Now on the floor, I could do this, but I want to demonstrate how this works on my stand. So to do this, all right, this is not recommended. Yeah, if anyone is watching the live stream with your children, please tell them to leave the room because this is not something that they should attempt. I am a trained professional, so that's the difference. This could wind up really badly, but I'm going to try. All right. It doesn't feel like it's all right. That does not feel right. Oh, wait, it is on. Okay. All right. Could be a little better. Whew. Ta-da. You can get it on my stand. You do need to be careful with placement. You do need to make sure that you are mindful of how it's the width of the stand. It needs to be correct, because if it is not correct, it's going to be a bad day. So let's resume the charging. Let's line it up correctly. There we go. And now you can see the light. So it should go right there. You go. All right, look at that. I got it on the stand. It's a freaking miracle. Yeah, but you gotta have it on the bottom of this bracket, and it will fit on that is a conventional height stand. That is not a high stand. That is a normal height stand. So yeah, that'll do it. Okay, good. Now we know. Now we know the answer to that question. And that is good to know. When someone asks me, "Hey, can you put an EX20S on your stand?" The answer is yes. But you better adjust it first. And of course, you know that people will get these and they won't adjust it, and then they'll say, "Hey, Duff, my stand broke, man. My stand broke." Well, did you adjust it to the right width for your stand first, or for your wheel? No, man, just put it on there. Okay, well, I do get that once in a while, and I think every time I've gotten that, I do send them another stand. But I tell them to read the directions, or watch the video that I did that demonstrates it. Scout weighs 210, so pretty heavy. Well, that's not terrible. Maybe walking and pushing the wheel uphill in spots on the Class 4 road added more heat. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Ratman says, "Do people ever use electric pumps?" Yeah, I probably should be able to. I mean, my Ryobi battery powered pump. I mean, it has a digital. Well, It doesn't. I don't think it goes up to 250 psi though, to be honest with you. So no, I don't know that I could use it. I don't think it goes that high. But in theory, if you had one that goes that high, I guess you could do that if you can get it on there. Scout says, Duff, when pumping tire, place the pump on the table. Holding both ends with your hands is twice as hard. Oh, well, that would explain me getting tired. But it was a good brief cardio workout, so that's fine. Jimmy Chang said he uses an electric pump. Yeah, I bet he does. He probably pays someone to pump it for him at this point. So he just bought a Rivian truck. I think Jimmy Chang is doing pretty well. That's the impression I get. Scout asks if Marty's ridden the EX20S. No, he hasn't. Well, I don't think he did. Did you, Marty? Maybe you did. Last time I heard Marty was waiting out for something even better than this, even more range than this, which was rumored. I don't know if that's a true rumor, but I heard that was a possibility. And Marty was thinking about waiting for something even bigger, which I can't imagine because how big this is and the potential weight involved with something even bigger than this. I mean, it'd be nice if they were able to increase battery capacity and cell technology would become lighter over time instead of heavier, because this is really, really heavy. Oh, so JCFP Warrior Poet boards blue in low torque situation. So do you mean the wheel going slowly, like up a hill? Well, so are you just saying low torque, just like they were going at slow speeds and they blew? That's interesting. Marty says the Allen wrench comes with a master as well. That's good. It's good to know, man. Oh, Marty just confirmed what I was just talking about, that he is waiting for the 4,800 watt hour beast. Can you imagine, Marty, what that will weigh? I mean, so 4,800 watt hours, so that's 33% more capacity than this. So, I mean, what's realistic? 125 pounds, maybe, for the wheel? Curious what that will cost. Scout hadn't heard of that. I've only heard of that from Marty, but Marty is he's an insider. He knows these things. Marty says his master wants to tip over on the kickstand. Yeah, I think the kickstand on this is a little more substantial, Marty. It feels it. And just from the pictures I've seen of the master kickstand, I think the EX20S kickstand is more substantial. Has a little rubber feet on it. Like the S20 kickstand, S22 kickstand. I've heard that it's stable, but also the foot is made of plastic, so there have been multiple reports of that breaking for certain people. So I don't know. I mean, at least initially, the kickstand on this feels pretty good. Babbitt the Wabbit need an engine hoist. Yeah, well, it wasn't actually. I mean, with standing on the ottoman here, it was doable. Not comfortable, but doable. Marty says the Gotway will be releasing a 134 volt, 4,800 watt hour suspension wheel soon. In quotes. Good, cool. So Marty, once you get that. If you got that wheel, getting that wheel, what wheels would become expendable to you if you got that wheel? Because it seems like that would do almost everything you want. I mean, you would have lots of power, 134 volt platform, lots of range with suspension. Don't you think that you could thin out your wheel collection pretty substantially? I mean, you have two Shermans and a Commander. I mean, come on. Oh, wow. Scout guessed a similar weight as me, 125 pounds. Murray says maybe glue a piece of angle steel or alloy to the top of the stand so the wheel can't dig into the plastic. It's not that. It's that this section here is slanted. It's like a wedge, basically. So if you had the stand too wide and it gets on this wedge part, it's just going to wedge right down in the stand and split it. So yeah, you have to make sure that the stand is narrow enough that cannot happen. That it's on the flat part here at the base. Otherwise, you are going to have a bad day. A bad day. Splash says, that sounds amazing, Marty. I know you have connections. Oh, he has connections for days, man. Is your source directly from Begode? I don't know if he'll reveal that or not. I know I probably know where this information came from, but I won't reveal it because it's top secret. Marty says, essentially, yes, a reliable source. I bet I know who that source is, Marty, but I won't say. Splash 6, clarifying the master BMS beeper. EcoDrift showed temp sensors in the battery pack, not just the board. Well, so that master, because they do have a Moly cell master. So was it the Moly cells, the P42 cells in there? Do you remember? That might have temperature sensors in it. But I don't know that those Moly cell packs in the master, I don't think they're Litech packs, right? Because that was what all that controversy was about. If Litech was actually going to supply Begode with battery packs. So when they supposedly had an exclusive deal with eWheels. So I don't know. But anyway, I mean, if they have temperature sensors in the battery pack, that's a good thing. That's good. So, yeah. If that is the case, that is a good thing. Scout says 134 volt, 4,800 watt hours would be great if you were homeless. You could live in a tent way out in the woods mountains and still have electricity for cell phone and stuff all week in between town trips. True. You might need an inverter to make some of that happen, but yeah, sure. Like I have out in the chicken coop, I have a solar generator, that is attached to 2 solar panels, and it has only 1,000 watt hour battery in there with an inverter, which powers the majority of the needs in the coop. So yeah, 4,800 watt hours. That would give you a lot of juice, as long as you have an inverter that was capable of delivering high amounts of amps when needed. Marty says, the question is, will any of my EUC Army stands withstand the 4,800 watt hour beast? Maybe. Like I said, I've stood on them. You might have seen that video. I probably did it a couple years ago. Yeah, I've stood on them. Now, long term, I don't know. I don't know. Probably. They are pretty strong. I mean, if you set them up right, they are pretty strong. I have stands that I use in my hobby room that are 4 years old. Supporting wheels for the last 4 years, and they are still supporting wheels. They're fine. So I think most people, if they have a problem with the stand, it's usually because they didn't take the time to read the directions and make sure that the stand fits the wheel properly. Because if it doesn't, it's gonna be a bad time. Marty says he'll dump the EXN to make room for the 4,800 watt hour wheel. Need to keep my 10 wheel limit. Only the EXN? Really? I thought you would dump more than that. Hey, Marty, I don't think you were here earlier when I was talking about this. I heard Afiz mention, and those of you that don't know who Afiz is, he runs, it's called My E-Rides. He's from the Great Britain, from the UK. He mentioned that he got notice that Begode was supposedly ceasing production on all wheels except the Master, the EX20S, and I thought, what was the third one? Maybe the Monster Pro. but it sounded like they were only going to continue to produce either 3. There might have been a 4th one in there as well. I'm not quite sure, but it was 3, maybe 4 wheels that they're going to be actively producing. I don't know if you heard about that, but that is what he said. He was told that. So I found that interesting. I wonder if they're looking to slim down their lineup to make it easier to support, or I don't know. But that is what he mentioned. He mentioned that a couple weeks ago. Murray says, how did Kathy survive you being away for a week? What did she do when she saw you? Well, I actually, again, I wrote about this in the blog today. Generally speaking, Kathy, since my second to last chicken, Fiona, died, Kathy definitely has she's not quite the same as she was. You can kind of tell. I don't know if chickens suffer from loneliness or depression, but it kind of seems that way. She's not as active as she was. She doesn't have to contend for food like she once did, because there's no one else to steal food from her. She's not as vocal as she was before, but I mean, she's still doing okay. While I was gone, my ex-wife Allison, which I don't know that any of you, well, no, she's in some of my older YouTube videos, because we got divorced quite a while ago at this point. But my ex-wife Allison actually house sat the house for me. She was here with Sadie, the dog that we both had together, and watching Elsa, of course, and her boyfriend was here for over the weekend. So yeah, they house sat for me, which actually worked out really well. They took care of Elsa, and they were able to watch the house and take care of Kathy. So it worked out. Her and I are friends, and I'm appreciative of that. Simon says, Fees has a spec'd up Gotway. Yeah, Fees has a 134 volt RS19. He's had that for a while, and he has told me that it's borderline terrifying to ride. The torque that thing has is scary. So yeah, no, he does have that, and it's like a one-off design. Like I don't think that they're selling that publicly, but he has one. I think a couple other people have gotten one, and he said it's kind of crazy. Splash says, EcoDrift Master Teardown was a 50 E cells. Okay, so the 50 E cells had temperature sensors in them. Okay, good. Again, yeah, if better late than never. If Begode is finally paying real attention to battery safety, great. Hey, better late than never. That's fine with me. Marty says, on my Master, I can't make your suspension stand narrow enough. It'll fit, but I have to be very careful to get the pedal arms to rest in the stand. So, oh, you mean my the suspension? You mean the adjustable stand, Marty? I mean, I just moved mine in quite a bit for the EX20. So I don't know. You'd have to show me what you mean. I'm not sure what the pedal hangers look like on the Master, if they're similar to what's on the S20 with this big angled piece. But you definitely have to make sure you're inside of that. You got to make sure you're resting on the flat section. Yeah, but if you send me a picture of it, I can give you some advice, or I can send you another stand, whatever. I'm always happy to support you, Marty. Murray, won't they continue making nickel and MCM5? That's the impression that I got, that they were not going to continue producing them. And I'm not sure. I didn't get a clarification if that's a short-term thing, if they're just doing that to take care of a short-term issue with product, maybe raw materials. I don't know, or if that's a long-term strategy that they're trying to narrow their offerings, maybe. No more RS. There will be tiers. Yeah, like I said, it was either 3 or 4 wheels, and I know 2 of them were the Master and the EX20S for sure. Third one and possibly fourth one, I'm a little fuzzy on. Ooh, Marty, nothing against the fees, but I have better sources. Well, what did your sources say, Marty? Have you heard anything about that? Tell me. Tell me. Inquiring minds want to know. Mike's here. Mike in Tampa. Congrats stuff. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out on it. I am charging it right now. I managed to get it on the stand without making my hernia explode. And I have roughly 275 pounds of pressure in the shock right now. So I'm going to let it charge to full charge. Oh, and Mike, I also did a no-load lift speed test on this which I think is the first time ever because it's difficult. But the battery was only at 49%, but the wheel shut off at 48.4 miles an hour. That was the fastest that the shut off speed was. So that's good. It's good enough for me. It's fine. No problemo. Interesting. So Marty says you have not heard about Gotway stopping production on various wheels. Let me. How quickly can I do this? I don't know. I just want to see if I can find this. Because Marty would not have access to where I saw this, and I don't know if he will pick up on why I said that, but he would not have access to this, Marty. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to scroll for days to find this. I don't think I'll be able to. We haven't even talked about the Inmotion V13, really. Do we need a wheel that goes 186? Was it 180 kilometers an hour? No load lift test speed. No, probably not. Like I said, I do have a comedic spin on it that I'm going to be working on when I have time, and I'll talk about it more seriously at some point. What is that wheel there? July 7th. Okay. That's this is a discussion also that if FEES did a test, a no-load lift test on the S22. The no-load lift test speed that he got on the S22 was 65.5 miles an hour. It's pretty fast, right? So if you use the rule that we just applied to the EX20S, that wheel should be able to go 50 miles an hour, right? Well, evidently, it's just the limit is just software based. So the S22 has the capability to go significantly faster than what it's capped at, probably. Can I show you this screenshot? Maybe. Well, you might not believe me, but all right, let's do this. I haven't shared any screens today. I've been so busy talking and lifting and all this shit. So this is the picture when FEES did a no-load lift test on his S22. 65.5 miles an hour max speed. And I trust him to tell me the truth. So that's interesting, right? All right, so let's see if I can find this spot where I heard the Gotway stuff about them limiting. Why can I not search Messenger? It's annoying, right? I mean, how can you not be able to search Messenger? It's stupid. All right, so where is it? The fees. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to soon give up. What are we up? What are we up to date-wise? I'm back to early July. That's me talking about canceling my S20 order. Let's see. We're talking about some e-wheels things here. Okay, I'm going to give up in 5 seconds. All right, maybe 7 seconds. Smooth. Okay, I don't see it. But anyways, take my word for it. He did say that. Marty is not aware of this. So maybe ask your source, Marty, or I could ask him because I know who your source is, I think. Yeah. Mike, do I have a ramp for it? Funny you asked that, Mike. I bought a ramp 6 months ago. I have a ramp that I bought on eBay 6 months ago, maybe longer. I don't even know. It's been sitting in my dining room propped up against a cabinet. And I bought it with the intention of doing jump tests on the S20. So it's just been sitting here. I don't want to go off a ramp on this thing, on the EX20S. It's too heavy, man. If I would lose it, I mean, that's just a lot of weight to come down in an unexpected way. Marty's leaving. It's been fun, Duff. I need to watch my Avalanche before the sun sets. All right, go for it, buddy. Thanks for stopping by, Marty. Murray says, I would ride a wheel 35 to 40, even if the wheel is capable of doing 70 miles an hour. Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, yeah, I would buy a 70 mile an hour wheel, but with no intent of ever going that fast. I mean, to me, the more ceiling you have, the more overhead you have. Good. I mean, I'm comfortable going 30 to 35, and I'm also comfortable going 20 to 30, depending on the condition. But yeah, more than 35 on an extended basis, no, I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. So that's just me. Some people do. Some people do. Oh, Mike was asking if I have a ramp to get it into my truck. Funny. That's true. But the thing is with this wheel, I don't imagine me traveling with this to ride somewhere. It has enough range that I can just ride wherever I want to go, right? So no, this isn't the kind of wheel I would travel with. I'll travel with a V12. I'll travel with the V11. I'm not traveling with the EX20S. No. Nope. That will be my go from home wheel. This will be my wheel that, when I decide I want to ride to work, which I haven't done in a long time. But if I want to ride to work, there you go. Perfect wheel to ride to work. Fast suspension and comfortable. Marvel. Fast suspension and range for days. I wouldn't need to take the charger with to work if I took this wheel. So, yeah. Scout says maybe the Monster Pro size won't wobble at 65 miles an hour. I don't know. The V13 is supposed to be 22 inches. By the way, I have heard that. It's weird because the lift test on the V13 was ridiculous. Like I said, 180 kilometers per hour plus, and it supposedly has very high amounts of torque, which up until this point, a 22-inch wheel and torque do not jive. We haven't had the Abrams is a 22-inch wheel. It does not have high torque. So I don't know. Inmotion really threw down the gauntlet. They really are putting it all out there because if this thing flops, and if this thing has problems like the V12, where the MOSFET problems with the V12, the stupid low quality MOSFETs. If they have another launch like this with all kinds of shit, the V11 had massive issues with bearing failures. More recent batch V11s, I've heard issues with board failures and all the stuff with the V12. Inmotion cannot have another mess of a launch with the V13. And plus, what do you guys think the V13 is going to cost? I mean, really? I mean, is it going to be a $4,000 to $5,000 wheel? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are a segment of the riding population that will basically pay anything to have the latest and the greatest. But for me, I'm not paying that. I'm not paying $4,000 plus for a wheel. No, I'm not going to do that unless I sold 3 wheels to do it. Maybe. I mean, I shouldn't say that. If I sold a bunch of wheels to make that purchase more fiscally responsible, okay, but just out of my pocket to spend $4,000 to $5,000 on a wheel, no. If that was my primary mode of transportation, okay, maybe, but no. In my situation, no, I'm not doing that. Although I said no, I'm not going to buy a big goat either. And look what's behind me right now. On an EUC Army stand, available at EUCArmy.com, as you can see in the scroll down below. And I haven't mentioned this recently. One of the best things you can do for the stream is just hit the like button. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the like button. Lets YouTube know that it should let more people know about it. Because even after the stream is done, there's hundreds of people that will watch the playback of this stream. So the more likes it has, the more likely YouTube is to suggest it to others. So if you want to help me out, hit the like button. Quick and easy and simple. Oh, Mike in Tampa says a ramp for when I come up to Tampa. Well, if I come up to Tampa, again, I don't know that I would travel with the EX20S unless you plan to do like, are we doing 80-mile rides or something, Mike. I don't know. I don't know that I would be down for that. I don't. We'll discuss it when time comes. I can get it in my truck. I can do it. Well, I can't do it after I have my hernia surgery for 3 weeks, but no, I can do it. I've lifted heavier. I've deadlifted 400 pounds almost, so I can get this up there if I had to. It just wouldn't be fun. That's all. Murray talking about it's so weird. Inmotion. Tell me if I got this correct. So Inmotion, this timeline. Inmotion announced a competition where people were guessing or suggesting names for the next wheel, the V13. They're suggesting names, and then the name, and I think the winner was supposed to get a free wheel. I don't remember if it was a V13 or something else. They're supposed to get a free wheel, I think, whatever name was chosen. But then they canceled that contest, right? Then they just say, now we're not doing that. And then they came out with this, and they said that this was the Challenger, the Inmotion Challenger, and that's the name. But then I saw Liam, and does Liam work for Inmotion again? I'm very confused because Liam left Inmotion, but now it appears that he's back because I see him posting for Inmotion on behalf of Inmotion. So I don't know. Does Liam work for Inmotion again? Does someone know? I don't know. But anyways, I think I saw that he posted a couple days after that motor video was released that the wheel is no longer called the Challenger. I guess people didn't like it. Like some people compared it to the Space Shuttle Challenger that blew up, and what was the other Challenger reference? Whatever reason. Supposedly now it's not the Challenger. They're just going to call it the V13. So, am I accurate? That is my understanding of what's been going on with the naming of this wheel, and it's very strange. But sometimes Chinese companies do some strange things. I've noticed that. Scout agrees the V13, 5K probably. Yeah, I'm going to draw the line there. I don't think I mentioned this in video. The other, when was this? It was, I think it was right after I got back, or it was right before I left. Anyways, you guys might remember Jeremiah. Jeremiah is the guy that lives like a block away from me, or maybe a half mile, something like that. He has an electric unicycle. He's a 14D. I sold him my one-wheel Pint. I sold him my S18. He messaged me the other day, and he says, "Hey, Duff, you want to see my my electric bike?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I thought he was going to pull up on something like I don't know, a Suron or Super 73 or something like that. I that's what I expected. No, instead he pulls up. I look out the driveway, and I see a motorcycle. I'm like, what the hell? He bought a P0 motorcycle, electric motorcycle, which I've seen before. I did not expect him to have bought that. I didn't want to ride it. I've ridden motorcycles before. I've owned motorcycles. I didn't want to ride it because it was brand new. He literally had just picked it up and wanted to show me. But the thing goes, it has a top speed 100 miles an hour, tons of torque, as you can imagine. I thought he said the range was, 80 miles, 90 miles. Of course, depending on how fast you're going in conditions. No shifting, just like a normal electric vehicle. You just kind of just crank the throttle and go. It was not cheap. I think he said, was it 14 grand or 17 grand? Maybe 14. I'm not sure. Not cheap. But he plans to use it to commute to the office as much as he can, I guess. It's going to be his commuter vehicle. Commuting during the summer in Florida is a little challenging, especially on a motorcycle, because of the frequent downpours you get in the afternoons. It'd be like rolling the dice taking an electric motorcycle or any motorcycle commuting during the summer. But yeah, that's what he's doing. I guess he's paying close attention to the weather forecast. But yeah, Jeremiah has a P0. That's the Cliff Notes version. Simon says riding at 70 miles an hour will battle against wind resistance. Yeah, no shit. Tremendous wind resistance. It's anyone that rides that's, ride whatever speed you want. That just seems like crazy talk. Why? I don't know. I mean, some people are adrenaline junkies. They get off on that makes them feel alive to live on the edge like that. I'm okay with just living and going a little slower, personally. George says, what gets more views, live streams or scripted content or other? Well, first of all, I don't do scripted content, George, unlike a lot of other content you might see on YouTube. All my stuff is always off the cuff. I just talk, just kind of, it goes brain to mouth, and there's not a script I work off of. I just kind of talk about whatever I am thinking, whatever my feelings are at the time. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not good, depending on what you think. Some people like that, some people prefer scripted content. As far as what gets more views, normal videos will get more views, but live streams typically get a lot of time, because it's a long broadcast. There's a lot of things that are talked about. So live streams, a 3-hour live stream, because that's really the metric that matters the most in YouTube is time viewed on a video. Because the longer a video is viewed, the more ads YouTube can play against it, which that's, from a creator standpoint, that's what you want. You want viewers to watch a video as long as possible. And in that regard, live streams are far superior than typical videos in most cases. So there you go. Murray says, what used car could you buy for 14K? A lot. You can buy a lot of used cars for 14K or 5K. Well, not as many. But I mean, a car, you can do a lot more in a car than you can on an electric unicycle. Scout. Duff, what did you just pay for the EX20S? $4,500 with shipping, probably, right? No, I did not. But this is a special deal, with Ian. As far as, like I said, he was basically just my facilitator for Pagode. So no, retail 30 EX20S. They're not 4,500, right? They're mid threes, high threes. Yeah, no, Ian helped me out, and I did pay $900 for just air shipping alone. So, which I actually don't like to say that out loud, because that makes me feel a little bit queasy inside. But yeah, I did. It was one of those impulsive moments which I have from time to time. George hopes it's 2-wheel drive. Yeah. The motorcycle? No, it's 1-wheel drive. Murray's aware of what I paid for air freight, $900. Yeah. Tommy is here. Tommy, you see what I got behind me? I bet you're jealous, man. Look at that. EX20S, man. Yeah. Probably jealous. If you ever find yourself down in Southwest Florida, Tommy, you're welcome to come ride it. I trust you on it. I mean, I know you are Daredevil and everything, but I trust you on it. Larry says if he has a P0, he should see a urologist. Larry, you are so punny. You're so punny. George finds my YouTube explanation, my YouTube monetization explanation fascinating. It's very true. It's all about view minutes. Like, you can have a video that has a lot of views. Like, say you have a video that has 10,000 views, but if the average watch time in that video is a couple minutes, it's very minimal, any sort of revenue that's going to be generated from it. So it's the way it works. Cascade says only fold down back seats can do more than an EUC. Well, I don't know that I agree with that. If I was driving in driving rain, I'd much rather be in a car. If I had passengers, I'd much rather be in a car than an EUC. If I had to carry anything more substantial than a backpack, I'd rather be in a car. Yeah. I'd rather be in a Tesla, actually. So, yeah. Oh, speaking of Tesla, let me tell this story quickly. Again, I wrote it on my blog. Those of you that don't read my blog, I mean, if you're really like a stalker and you want to know everything about me, you can read my blog. It's blog.duff.net, and I talk about things that I don't necessarily talk on video. But my Tesla went in. Why am I pointing with this? I don't know. My Tesla is finally in the body shop. I've had a lot of annoying things happen along the way, but a few weeks ago, I called the body shop and I said, "Hey, what's it looking like? When are you going to be able to do my Tesla?" And they said, "Well, we're just waiting for the deck lid to come in because they have to replace the deck lid." I said, "Okay." Call me when you get it in. Oh yeah, we'll call you. Okay. Didn't hear anything. So I'm like, well, this is weird. And it's like 3 weeks later, hadn't heard a damn thing. Call them up yesterday. And I said, "Hey, Duff here." I said my real name, but Duff here. Any word on the part for my Tesla? Or, has it come in yet? Do you know when it's coming in? Oh, yeah, we have it. Like, oh, I mean, the way they answered it, it sounded like they've had it for a period of time. I said, "Oh, no one called me to let me know you had it." "Oh, yeah, no, we have it." Okay, great. So when can you get it in? When can you get it into the body shop? "Oh, we can do it tomorrow." Tomorrow? Really? Wow. Okay. So I guess they don't have a lot of work right now. Summertime, there's less people in Florida. So I guess they have a light schedule. I'm like, okay, great. How long is it going to take? Well, let's see here. I'll look here. It says here 7 hours. 7 hours? Are you telling me that I could drop it off tomorrow and I would have it back by the end of the day? Yeah. 7 hours. No kidding. Okay, great. Let's book it. So I make arrangements with my buddy from work to meet me at the body shop this morning at 7:30. Drop off the car, and there's two women that work the counter. The woman I talked to on the phone is the same woman that caused me an issue before because there were two Duffys that had two Teslas with work to be done. She only thought there was one Duffy, so every time I called to ask her if my stuff was ready to go, she would say yes, and it wasn't. There was never an appointment in the system because she didn't pay attention to detail, and she only went by the last name. There was a Jonathan Duffy and a Sean Duffy, and she effed that up. So it was the same woman. But this morning, I was talking to the other woman, a younger woman that seems to have her shit together a little bit better. So I drop off the car. Or I give her my key. And I say, "Oh, yeah, Sean Duffy here to get my car done." She fills out the paperwork, and I said, "So I just want to confirm, I was told yesterday that this should hopefully be done today." She said like 7 hours to do the work. And she looks at the paper and she looks at me and she kind of has a confused look on her face. And she said, No. It says here they've allocated 23 hours to do the work. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, why would she tell me 7 hours? She kind of shrugged. Kind of got the impression that this is a sort of regular thing that happens with this other woman. I don't think she's, I don't know. I don't think she's really good at her job, to be honest with you. So basically, I said, okay, well, I'd like to get it fixed. So I said, how long realistically could it take? And she said, okay, well, I talked to the boss and, we can try to get it done in 2 to 3 days. So worst case, Friday. I said, okay, well, fine. So I called this afternoon and they said, okay, well, if things go well, it'll be done tomorrow afternoon, meaning Thursday. If not, it'll be done Friday. So depending on what I hear tomorrow afternoon, well, either way, actually, I might wind up riding a wheel into the office on Friday. And then I might either ride to near where a coworker lives and then get driven in the rest of the way, or I could ride the wheel all the way into work, but it's like an hour and a half ride into work, or at least it used to be on my slower wheel. So I could probably do it faster now with this, right? So I'm imagining I might be riding a wheel to work on Friday, maybe, to make it all happen. And then I can just throw the wheel in the back of the Tesla and take it home. So sidebar, but yeah, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but there you go. Murray says that must be how you became our favorite talking neck with the irritating voice. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, Murray. I don't know how I've done that, but I have done that. Scout says the EX20Ss are 3,700 at Alien Rides. Yeah, because like a lot of dealers aren't even selling them. Like, didn't EV say that they're not selling the EX20S? Last time I heard, Ian Speedy Feet isn't going to be conventionally selling the EX20Ss either. Maybe that's changed. And as far does Jason have? Last time I checked, he did not have EX20Ss on his site either. I don't know if Jason's planning to sell them. Oh yeah, okay. So it's interesting. Wow, I guess I am fortunate, because if you look, let me share this. When Alien runs like the EX2, he's calling it EX2 instead of an EX20S. What the F is the name of this thing? People just kind of switch back and forth. But anyways, so he has the C38 and the C30 on there, the high speed, same price, both pre-order only. So you can't even buy it there. Okay. He's not expecting the C38s to arrive until August. And the C30s, he's saying August as well. So I don't know. Maybe. Like I said, Ian was told that the C30s were back ordered. So I think I'll be just fine with the C38. So yeah, that is interesting. $3,800, right? So yeah, it is very close to 4,000. I did not pay 4,000, and I would not. Yes, Murray, wrong Duffy. Splash says, you don't need to look at that anymore. Splash says, Chooch said in his video, as he read off a webpage showing V13, that he thinks there would be two models, Challenger Speed Demon and V13 with suspension. Well, I did hear, I don't think it was from Chooch, somewhere, that they were making a suspension and non-suspension version of the V13. To me, I would rather have a suspension. To me, suspension is nice for comfort for me, but suspension also has an element of safety that some people don't talk about, but it really does. Like if you have a situation where you're going a high speed or high-ish speed, and you hit like a hole or a bump unexpectedly you don't see for whatever reason, if you don't have suspension, more than likely you're going to get launched. If you have suspension, more than likely it's going to be a non-issue. The suspension is going to eat up that hole. It's going to eat up that bump, and you'll be able to continue riding safely. So suspension definitely adds a element of safety in my viewpoint. George, Sean. Yeah, I know. Isn't it funny that Hasang, I used to call him Hasang, but everyone calls him Sean. That's what he goes by. My name is spelled, the third spelling you have there is the way that I spell my name. EUC, my EUC says, Jason told me in an email they will be carrying the EX20S high torque and high speed, and they're taking pre-orders now. Okay, wow. I really do feel lucky. If these dealers are only taking pre-orders and I got one in my hands, I feel I haven't seen a lot of EX20Ss in the wild. I've seen George's. I know that the demo wheel went around there. I know Wrong Way has one. I don't know who else I've seen. Right, like I said, that Jack had an early version of it, but I don't know a lot of people that have the EX20S. There's a lot more people that have the S20 or /S22 than have the EX20S. So thumbs up for me, right? Scout, Wrong Way is a real name. Yeah. Well, I guess spelled that way. Oh, Wong Way. Yes, that probably would be. Murray says, I'm pretty embarrassed. I bagged out the EX20S when they first talked about it. I talked about that earlier, Murray. So did I. When I first saw it, I thought it was a ugly as hell fat version of the S20. When it was all silver, when the battery case was silver instead of black, it looked like a big radiator. It looked like I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, why are they showing us a wheel without the case on it? That was the first thought that went to my head. Yeah, I was critical about it as well, and now I have one. So I'm not. I'm the type of person, I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, because I'm wrong a lot. But Oh, and you okay? So Murray says this is what you would buy now. Yeah, I mean, based on other testimonials, I've heard so many good things that I'm surprised. I was surprised to hear so many good things about the EX20S, but hopefully, I will have more good things to say about that as well. MUC, my EUC. Yes, the V13 is the Challenger. So it is the Challenger. I could have swore that Liam said that they're not calling it the Challenger anymore, but okay. And a suspension version that won't go as fast as far as they remove some battery to make room for the suspension, or the other way around. Okay. Have you heard? I have not heard like battery capacity numbers at all for that wheel, which is that's an important detail, right? Splash says the V13 needs suspension with the weight and speed it supposedly will have. I totally agree. High-speed wheel suspension can be a lifesaver. Really? Yeah. I really think that's kind of a mistake if they don't just keep it suspension only, but whatever. People will buy what they want to buy. Tommy says, sounds like I'll get my car back Tuesday. I better not get my car back Tuesday because I'm leaving town on Thursday. And I have stuff to do. I got stuff to do, man. Tommy is jealous. Well, that's my goal. Hopefully, Hubert is jealous as well. Tommy. Holy Troller. What do you expect to do with your new wheel that the Sherman doesn't do? It's all about suspension, dude. That's it. It's suspension. If like up until I got this wheel, if I had to, I have 6 wheels, 7 wheels, and they're good wheels. But if I had to keep one wheel out of all my wheels, it would be the V11. And it would be the V11, even though it's slower and has less range than the Sherman and the V12. I would keep it because the riding experience for me is that enjoyable with the suspension wheel. And that's what I wanted. Like the Sherman is great for long range rides, but I've wanted suspension on it. I've been looking for a wheel with Sherman, similar to Sherman performance characteristics with suspension. This is the wheel. The Master is not that wheel. This is the wheel. So that is what I expect. I expected to do what the Sherman can do, more or less, with suspension. That's it. And I'll sell the Sherman to help pay for it. Murray looks forward to my DD ride. The longer DD ride, it's 10 miles away, so it's a 20-mile round trip. So yeah, no, I definitely will do that. And I'll be doing Ave Maria, and I will be doing the normal things. I don't know how much time I'll have to do the normal things before I leave on the trip, but I rest assured I will be doing a lot of things on this. Did I mention I got a replacement hoverboard? Remember the hoverboard that I was testing that died? They sent me another one. I have it out there in the box. I'll test a new one sometime. I don't know when. It could be 3 months from now. Seriously. And it's weird. Like I've gotten some people reach out to me about testing gear. I don't know if people like my hoverboard review. The Exnito guys, they liked the video I did. I got an inquiry from a gear company called noblemantech.com. They reached out to me. They're sending me some carbon fiber knee/shin guards and elbow guards that I'm going to review. Hey, I'm fine reviewing stuff. I'll give you my opinion on it. So I have that coming as well. So hey, maybe I'm a new review guy. So it's kind of fun. MUC, my EUC says battery will be over 4,000 watt hours for the Challenger. Okay, is that confirmed or is that just speculation? And it looked like I guess they're speculating that voltage wise it's going to be 126 volt wheel. That's what I heard was the guess. Cascade, is Challenger a heavy wheel? We do not know the weight of it, but yes, it is going to be freaking heavy as hell. I would not be surprised if it's the weight of this monster behind me, 100 pounds plus. Off-road trails are calling the EX20S. Yeah, I mean, see, I don't even know that I would want to take this thing into the swamp. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. With the swamp, there's lots of times you're stepping on, stepping off, and I don't know. I think I don't know. People keep saying it's balanced. It's a very balanced wheel. Maybe it will not be the struggle that I think it is. I just know it's a struggle to freaking lift the thing up on the table, and it's a struggle to get it on the stand when it's on a table. And it's a struggle to do a lift test, a no lift test on it. But maybe it's not a struggle to ride. I don't know. I'll let you know. Murray says, if I found a DD 30 miles away, oh yeah, well sure I could do that. There is a ton of Dunkin' Donuts around here. I could go to the one at work. There's one right close to my office at work that's 25 miles away. I could do that. So it would be a 50-mile ride. I would just have to spend a lot of time to do that. Tommy says, how was New York? It was great. It was upstate New York, way up there above Syracuse. It's in an area called Big Moose Lake. Beautiful. Like I don't know if you saw the video I posted, Tommy. I posted a video last night where I shot random footage. My nieces, I gave them the camera. They shot funny footage as well. I just try to kind of recap it. It was beautiful. There's stuff that I don't get to experience often. And I was actually at this place once before, like 25 years ago. And it actually might be longer. I was actually with my girlfriend from high school, I think, when I was up there. And back then I was too young to appreciate it. I thought it was just a pain in the ass because they're cabins and you got to build fires. And I remember not enjoying it. I enjoyed it much, much more now because I'm more or less an adult. In years, at least, in years of age, I'm definitely an adult. Mentally, I don't know. That's questionable depending on who you ask. But I definitely enjoyed it more, even though I did not have solid internet access. I have to admit, I was a little shaky about not having internet access because there was no cell signal where I was. I had to rely on Wi-Fi access that they had in one building around the lake for Wi-Fi access. So, oh, Tommy, you're thinking about getting the EX20S? Nice. You'd sell your Sherman, I would assume, if you did that. Cool, man. Well, if you want to get it sooner rather than later, you can talk to Ian. Ian. I talked about this earlier. I don't think you're on. Ian basically facilitated it for me. He placed the order and then they drop shipped it to me via air freight, which was very expensive. But yeah, and I got one. So I would say start to finish 3 weeks, maybe something like that. Not bad. Tommy says, yeah, this will be my wheel until I swap it for a V13 suspension in 2023. Possible, maybe. If it looks impressive, I might do that. Never say never. I never said I would never buy another Begode, but I kind of strongly hinted that it was going to be a long, long time, or it would be a cold day in hell before I did. But here we go. Things change, situations change, viewpoints change. George says he just got a 16X to bridge the gap until I see which one of these suspension wheels get the most updates to issues, but suspension is inevitable. Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say that they prefer non-suspension wheels. There are some people that say that. That's cool. I don't know that they'll totally stop making non-suspension wheels, but I think suspension wheels are going to dominate the market. 16X is a great wheel. I owned one. I had a Nikola Pro. Was it called a Nikola Pro or Nikola Plus? Pro. I had the 100-volt Nikola, and within 3 or 4 months, I had a weird situation where I tested. I had the Nikola Pro, but then I got the 16X on the test circuit from eWheels, the demo circuit, and I actually liked the 16X more than the Nikola. And I wound up finding someone that had a 16X with low mileage, similar to my Nikola, and we just did a swap. Even though the Nikola was probably technically worth more money, it probably wasn't the best fiscal move I've ever made. But yeah, we did an even swap. His 16X for my Nikola, and great wheel, good torque, reliable. One of the easiest tire changes or tube fixes that you would ever, or tube replacements you would ever have. Lots of torque, very good range for the 1554 watt-hour battery pack that's in there. Very, very good range. 16X is a really good wheel. It really is. It goes, what, 30 miles an hour if you want to. I was typically riding it in the mid-20s, and I was happy there. Like the 16X. Scout says, but Goad rules pretty clear cut to me. I don't know if it's clear cut, but I mean, I am glad that because of all the flack and pressure that they've been getting, that they are definitely trying to do smarter things, trying to better engineer their wheels, trying to care more about safety. I do appreciate that. I just noticed I was looking at the pre-order for Alien Rides for their. Well, that's a C30. Hold on. Okay, same thing with this. I just noticed that the suspension arm on the one that they have on their site is silver, and mine is red. I don't know which one is a newer design, the silver or the red. I thought the original ones were silver, weren't they? So maybe the newer ones are red. I don't know. I might have that backwards, but not that it matters. Murray says, I don't understand people's wants with EUCs. You buy a wheel for the road or a wheel for off-road. You don't buy a Bentley to take it off-road. True. You buy vehicles wheels to suit the intended use. Yeah, no, I get it. But I know, Murray, and like for me, my intended use is almost exclusively hard surfaces. But there are people that do a pretty equal mix of the two. So in those situations, I mean, some people can't afford to buy two wheels. They can't afford to buy, one wheel for off-road, one wheel for on-road. So in that situation, they're looking for something that is moderately competent at both. Like I would say, the Master is an example of that. Well, a suspension wheel in general is the mix. The suspension wheel will do well on trails. Whether it's the Master, whether it's the S22, and maybe the EX20S. I don't know. Some people seem to think it is. Oh, Larry, why did I not know that you had a Nikola Plus? I didn't know that. I don't know. I thought that I would know every wheel that you've ever owned at this point, Larry. I know you had a V10F. That got stolen. But no, I did not know you had a Nikola Plus. Yeah, no, the Nikola Plus was nice. I liked the Nikola Plus. I just like the 16X more. I thought the Nikola Plus was like really fat. I didn't like the handle design very much, although I did like the LEDs on the side, the high resolution LEDs. I thought that was cool. But I don't know. I just like the 16X a little bit more. I like the way it felt. I like the visuals, like the shape of the wheel more, the 16X than the Nikola. Nikola kind of looked like a flying saucer. But yeah. So your V10F was replaced by the Nikola Plus. Oh, shit. It's 11:15? Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, guys, I got to work tomorrow. Shit. I didn't know it was that late. So I think I'm gonna cut it here. I'm going to let my wheel charge overnight. Depending, I don't know, see what the weather's like tomorrow. Maybe I'll get out on a brief ride tomorrow. Depends what my mental list looks like, because I'm always running lists and scenarios through my head. But we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. Maybe I'll get out, and if the weather's good, because it was raining when I got here tonight, so you never know. But anyways, okay. Well, I appreciate everyone that stopped in. We had a pretty good turnout. Lots of interactive questions. And don't forget to hit that like button before you sign off. Like the video, man. Like the live stream. I'd appreciate that. But anyways, guys, you'll be seeing a lot more S20. No, sorry, EX. I keep getting those acronyms confused. EX2S, EX20S, whatever the hell you want to call it. You'll be seeing a lot more of it on the channel in the upcoming days and weeks and months. So that's all I have for now. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, Duffman out. Happy Wednesday.